Hello YouTube. Okay, so let's do this. Survivalcraft 2. This is going to be a walkthrough of the game. Before we get into the real walkthrough, this is going to be a tutorial video of how you play the game. So, as you start, you want to hit New World when you want to start a new game. And then it'll give you 4 game modes: challenging, cruel, creative, and harmless. Challenging's normal mode, you'll be able to respawn when you die, and there will be danger. Now, cruel mode's the same as challenging, but as you can see, it says there that once you die, your world's lost, and you're dead. And then creative is just like what you expect. You have everything, and you can't be hit. And then harmless mode is easy mode because almost all dangers removed, and the animals will not hit you unless you provoke them. The falls will be less deadly, and the health regeneration will be really quick. But since this is a tutorial, I'm going to do challenging. Then it'll allow you to select your character. You can choose whatever character skin you want, if you want it to be a male or a female, but I'm always going to be a male. I'm going to do Walter since this is a tutorial. You can even add another so you can do split screens if you want. So here's how the game works. The ship here abandons you here on the shore and you're marooned. You have to survive by yourself because they're leaving you here for good. So here's how the game works. See this move thing at the bottom left corner? Drag it to move your character. You can even tap it once to jump. And then you see the look button on the right hand side. You can tap it to jump, and you can drag along the screen to view your surroundings. Now this button on the top right corner, that little eye thing will switch your camera to third person, orbit camera, fixed camera, and first person camera. This camera button will take a screenshot of your screen. This question mark button will take you to the help section if you don't know how to do something, or if you don't know how to craft. Now, see this button here? This button is where you can handcraft things and keep other things in your inventory. So far, you only have 4 slots. To craft more things in more than 4 slots, you need a workbench, which is made out of planks. So to get planks, you need a piece of wood. Then as you take the planks, you're not going to be able to put them all in one slot. So to stack items, hold it for 1 second, and then red will appear around it, and then boom, we have a workbench. Now this here button right here with the person on it, this is your body panel, and this right here is the sleeping button. This thing right here is your information about your character, your health, your stamina, your sleep, your food, your wetness, and your body heat. Your health bar is displayed like this, and it's also displayed as these little hearts. And it's the amount of life left in your player. When it drops to 0, your character dies. It will slowly replenish when your character isn't hungry. But the best way to restore your health is to sleep. And you do have to be very careful if your health is low, because even a slight injury can get you hurt. When your health bar is red like that, that means your health is normal. When your character gets sick, the health bar will turn dirty green. So you want to avoid eating dodgy food to avoid sickness. And when your character has flu, the hearts will turn blue. So you want to make sure that you don't get cold and for prolonged periods to avoid getting flu. Now, stamina is the measure of tiredness of your character. Like, when your character performs a tiring action for a long time without a break, he'll tire out and start panting. When your character pants, his performance will be lower than when he is rested. He'll move and dig slower, and he will not be able to perform high jumps. See? Yeah, I know I'm panning. Okay, make me exhausted. Now see? See how much slower your character moves? And see how he can't perform high jumps? That's exactly what I'm talking about. And the actions that will make you tired are running, jumping, swimming, digging, and fighting. Out of any of these actions that make you tired, I would probably say that the most dangerous of getting tired is probably while you're in water, because you can't rest while swimming. So, if your character happens to get tired while in the water, you want to watch for early signs of panning, and you want to get out of the water immediately, because when your character gets exhausted in the water, he'll start drowning, and he'll die unless the shore is very near. But you also want to be very careful when fighting, because it's easy to get tired when running away from dangerous animals. Now, sleeping will help you restore your health quicker, and it'll pass the boring night hours when it's too dark and dangerous to work. But even if your character isn't hurt, you still need to sleep from time to time. And if you neglect that, your character will start to have short blackouts. And if you keep active despite the warning, the blackouts are going to get longer, and then eventually you'll lose consciousness. And you don't want to lose consciousness. That is very dangerous, because the predatory animals can quickly smell you and feast on your unguarded flesh while you don't notice. But you don't need a bed in order to sleep. You can only sleep in a warm, cozy, comfortable place. The ground can't be too hard or too exposed to the elements or wet. And like I said, to sleep, all you gotta do is press that little sleeping button and your character goes to sleep. And then food, which is displayed like that, but it's also displayed in the game as these little fishes. If your character doesn't eat for a long time, he'll start complaining about it, and he'll eventually start losing health until you die. But although, even if you're not hungry, or if you are hungry, you will not regenerate health. So, your health will slowly replenish when you're not hungry. So, for your character to eat, you have to drag an edible item onto your player in the body panel, and he'll inform to you whether you're still hungry. Which food can be obtained from many sources in the game. The obvious and easiest way to do it is to hunt edible animals, such as cows, birds, and wild boars. But you may have to keep in mind that hunting may be dangerous, and the supply of animals can quickly dry up in nearby areas, forcing you to search further. If you don't want to hunt, you can do an alternative to hunting, which is farming. Farming will let you create a sustainable source of food, although it will require lots of proprietary work and further maintenance. Now, wetness has to do with how wet your character is. Your character will get wet when you've been out in the rain for a long time, or if you land in water. And it heavily reduces insulation, so it'll be much easier to get colder in the chilly climates. Your character will end up warming up faster in a warmer place. Now, body heat has to do with your body temperatures, basically. If you go out into the cold without proper clothes, your body temperature will drop and your view will start to freeze over. And if your view begins to freeze over, you'll start losing health. If it completely freezes up, your character's dead. So, you want to find a warmer place to dry yourself off quicker and get warm. But the best thing to do to keep yourself warm is to make a shelter, because sheltered areas are warmer than the outside. Plugging up all your holes and locking your doors will make your shelter warm still. Even a small hole that's open to the elements will even make a small difference to the temperature. But when you make a shelter, the best thing to do is to make a fire inside it to make it homely warm and allow you to take your clothes off if you've gotten wet, because being wet dramatically increases your sustainability to cold. The best way to deal with the cold is to wear thick, dry clothes made out of fur. And then experience is represented by little golden orbs that the player can pick up in the game. The orbs will appear when your character mines minerals, harvests crops, or hunts animals. If you do any of those three things, collect the orbs. And if your character gets enough experience, he'll advance to the next level. And when your character advances to the next level, his strength, resilience, and speed will increase, and his needs for hunger will decrease. If your character dies, your level will be reduced to a much lower rate, and it'll take a long time to regain the lost experience. Now there's one more button I must show you guys before I end this off, and I actually start a real game. You see this button right here below this here button? This is the sneak button. It's very useful if you want to move slowly and carefully. For example, to avoid falling off the edge of a high crevice. When you have sneak mode enabled, your movement will be restricted at edges to prevent you from falling. You can also use it to move much quieter, so that way if you want to sneak up on some certain animals, you can do that without scaring them away. Especially if you want to come up towards a bird, but you want to make sure that you do it from behind, because if you do it from the front, it will see you and it will fly away. Well, I'm pretty sure that's about all there is to know basically in the game so far, so you'll hear more of how to do other things later on in the walkthrough. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.